morning, everybody, and welcome to Monday, a brand new week. We're happy to have you here with us. I'm Kelsey Marier, your host and producer of Morning Pulse, where I bring you top local headlines every weekday morning at 8:30 in our KTTC digital studio. Today, on this October 6th, we are bringing you 4 local headlines today. Some things that you need to know about that are happening today, or kind of a crash arrest story, a little bit of crime in there, but we do like to keep this hyper-local and fast. It's kind of a fast cast, if you will, more casual, but we're still bringing you all the important information you need to know on maybe a screen that is more accessible to you than just a TV. Whether you're watching on your phone or your computer or maybe your tablet, we're happy to have you joining us here live on our digital in our digital studio for our digital newscast for you today. So we are going to start with our first story in Northeast Iowa. This is one of our crime stories for the day that we are kind of following up on, or following. We are going to start there. So first, we are telling you about a Texas man that was arrested after a vehicle crash in northern Iowa. So this happened about 1:15 Sunday morning near 330th Street and Balsam Avenue. This was in Clear Lake. So according to the Cerro Gordo County Sheriff's Office, 21-year-old Benjamin Benucci of Georgetown, Texas. He was northbound on the road when he lost control and then went into a ditch. The Sheriff's Office says his vehicle was heavily damaged and the airbags were deployed during the crash. Law enforcement say he suffered some minor injuries. He was treated at the scene and then taken to the Cerro Gordo County Jail immediately. The Sheriff's Office then charging him with a first offense DWI, possession of a dangerous weapon while under the influence, and failure to maintain control of a vehicle. So that is our kind of crime story out of North Iowa this morning, something that we are kind of following for our Monday. And the next story, we are going to head into Rochester, something that's happening today we want to make sure that you are aware about. The city of Rochester hasn't actually had a formal rate policy for charging electric vehicles. Well, that could actually be changing tonight. The city is looking to establish an EV charging rate policy to kind of eliminate some inconsistencies in the rates and what it calls some challenges with user behavior. So in late July, there was a study session and the council had asked city staff to develop a fair policy that is kind of in line with other regional rates for electric vehicle charging stations and plans. So after studying 35 rate structures, the recommended amount for the city of Rochester is 17 cents per kilowatt hour with a $5 hourly idle fee. That fee, I just mentioned, would be applied 30 minutes after a charging session has ended. So if this is approved, the fees and everything would take effect January 1st of next year. So if you are a electric vehicle owner and driver, this could pertain to you, and we want to make sure that you know what could be coming. But yeah, the Rochester City Council is set to take up this discussion, this plan, tonight. Next up in our digital newscast here for Morning Pulse, we are talking about flu season. Of course, we want to make sure that you are staying healthy and safe during flu season, and so do some local hospitals. They're actually offering a few flu vaccine clinics starting today. The first that we know about is Olmsted Medical Center. We'll be administering those vaccines to people Mondays through Thursdays now through October 23rd. That is going to be a drive-through clinic happening at the Northwest Rochester location. So that's the first clinic that is starting today. The second one is Winona Health is kind of providing those flu shots at its facility today in Winona through Halloween, so starting today through Halloween. And you can stop by that Mondays through Saturdays. If you look on your screen here or on our website, kettc.com, we do have all the times and dates, kind of days, I guess, listed for both of those clinics on your screen. Again, also on our website, no appointments are needed for either of these clinics. Just make sure to potentially bring any insurance information that may or may not be needed for you to get a flu shot. But we want to make sure that you are staying healthy and safe, and so do some of our local hospitals. And so this is kind of getting underway for much of or all of the month of, October. So that is something that we want to make sure that you know about as well. All right, our final story this morning is something else that is starting today. We're talking about the Rochester Salvation Army collecting winter outerwear supplies. This is, of course, for people in need. It's all in preparation for the colder months that are coming, as we know. So you can get involved in the More Than Just a Coat drive by donating a plethora of things, not only winter coats, but also insulated gloves, boots, snow pants, scarves, hence the name More Than Just a Coat drive. So if you have any of those items to donate, whether they're new or gently used, bring them over to any of the Rochester Hy-Vee stores now through Saturday, and then the nonprofit will be distributing those outerwear donated items next Wednesday and Thursday, again, to people in need, people that are going to be needing some help to stay warm this winter. Organizers really want to stress that your generosity and the donations that you make play a crucial role in the success of this coat drive. And so if you are called to help out with that, get on over to one of our Rochester Hy-Vee stores and donate any of your winter outerwear items. Yeah, you can really make a difference for people that may be struggling in the winter months. So on that note, kind of, I guess you could say, in the note of not summer, we're not in winter yet, but we're talking about fall temperatures for sure. It definitely, if you haven't walked outside today, it's definitely feeling a lot more like fall today than it did at least over the weekend. We have obviously seen many 80-degree days in the past couple of days. Those are going to be gone for now. We are definitely moving into the fall temperatures, more average temperatures, you could say, for this week. Meteorologist Ted Schmidt was talking all about that this morning, and he said this week it's going to be seasonal. It's definitely in the average range. We're going to be seeing mid to upper 60s, and even in the weekend we're going to see some 70s. We do have some rain in our forecast for today, though. He did say it was going to be our wettest day of the week, so you want to plan that as you head out the door or as you're going to be coming back from work or school or wherever you're coming from later in the day. Just make sure you have some rain gear handy because you may or may not experience some of those rain showers that we're going to be seeing today. If you need more on the full forecast, just of course go to our website kettc.com and you'll find under the weather tab all of the weather information you need from any of our meteorologists here at KTTC. All right, that is all that I have for you on this Monday, October 6th. I am happy to have you joining me here. I hope you join me again tomorrow to get your top local headlines of the day for Southeast Minnesota and Northeast Iowa. Again, I do this every day, every weekday for you at 8:30. And if you are unable to watch it live on our live stream here, it's also being recorded and it will be added to your streaming devices on TV like Roku and Apple TV and things like that, so you can watch it after the fact as well. All right, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and I will see you right back here on Tuesday.